Hey gang, just waiting for everyone to get here. Sitting in my pajamas. These are really great pajamas, and here's why. Because I'm staying with my family, and I have these brothers who are like big, cute mooses, and they are gigantic, and so sometimes I wear their sweatshirts. It's just the best. Hi Sam, hi Danielle, hi Amy, hey Crystal. I know, so cozy, so cozy. Yeah, and so while we're all getting together, sorry, while we're all getting together, Saturday we are. Hi Ted, hi Stacy, Molly. On Saturday, if you haven't signed up yet, I'm doing the Sugar Summit, and people are having. I'm getting such incredible feedback on it in general. So if you haven't signed up and you're into learning more, I always think knowledge is power, and these are some ballers on the particular one. Ted's on day 12. It's so exciting. All my peeps are here. All my peeps are here. So I'm going to start now because I am a tired coach, Fiercely devoted to your freedom, but your fierce lioness is exhausted tonight. But I'm here with you and I love you. And I was thinking about, well, first of all, there was a question on the Facebook. In the Facebook group about what are we counting? What are we counting? Are we counting days off sugar? Are we counting days that we've closed the kitchen? Listen, here's this piece of data is so important to me, and I really want to share it with you. So, hi, Roseanne. My favorite piece of data, okay, let me start again. So if somebody tells you that there's one way, you run away. Of course, there's some very good, orderly direction ways that we can be in a healthy relationship with food. There's some of this that really, really just goes across the board. But what the only piece of data that we know, the truth is that there is no real evidence base for what works. Now, of course, if you have a pretty full-blown addiction to sugar, or someone like me, then giving that up is going to be a pretty good evidence base for you. But there's no one thing that works for everybody. And listen, we're all like little snowflakes. We're all on our own paths. Even though our paths are really similar, they're not the same. And so, what we know from the data is that there's one piece of data that actually is across the board the thing that we know works. And that is self-determination. And what that means is that you are investing in this new relationship with food and with yourself for yourself, right? And so it reminds me of my old friend Ethan. And Ethan went to rehab twice. And he said, well, the first time I went to rehab, it was for my dad. And the second time I went to rehab, it was for me. And that is the story of self-determination, my loves. That is the story of self-determination. We have to be doing it for ourselves. So the question on the board was, well, what are we counting days? Well, I'm not sure. Somebody might be counting a day that they haven't been binging. Some people might be counting days that they haven't that they haven't eaten sugar. Some people may be counting the days that they're closing the kitchen. Some people may, I don't know. One size doesn't fit all, right? But more important than that, you have to find what works for you. So I'm giving you and if you read, and I encourage you all to read Breaking Up with Sugar. I mean, not because I wrote it and it's the great love of my life, but it's a good book and it has a lot of really good science in it. And I think I've met people that don't even have food issues that read it and really found a better relationship with food as a result of it. So I think it's a great idea, but it's even at the end of that book that I wrote, it talks about creating your own humble eating plan, creating your own way that works for you, taking into account what you know works, what you know doesn't, and then finding the middle. Thank you, Crystal. And so I really want to say that because I think, what we were talking about last night with personalization, with taking things personally, and maybe even worse than personalization is like the peer pressure. The worst word we can use, and this is also a cognitive distortion, the worst word that we can use. Anybody know what the worst word we could use? Should. Should. In the 12-step rooms, they have one that says, don't should on me. But the thing is that if you're asking me, what should I be doing? Like, I always say, like, no internal, no external use of the word should. Because you know me, I love accurate emotional expression. Say what you mean. Because the word should almost always comes with resentment, with anger, with disappointment, with guilt. Am I right? So, like, if I said to you, like, well, you really should go to the gym tomorrow, you would be like, F you, Molly. Or you should be like, oh, I know I'm such a bad person, right? It's not really, when we use that word, the word should, it doesn't help to motivate the person that you're saying it to. It actually either shuts them down or makes them feel bad about yourself. And worse than that, because you know I'm mostly just into our relationship with ourselves, when we're using the word should to ourselves, abuse, right? If I'm like, oh, I really should, like, get up and get on the trampoline, like guilt, shame, not enoughness, right? And so the answer is always in these sorts of cases, guys, and like whatever, I need to tell you one more thing, right? Abby's like, you should lose weight, you should run more, you should do this, like when people say it to you, it feels really shaming, but when you say it to yourself, it's really, really shaming too. And what I want you to think about is, and by the way, I call that a super glue word, right? Because it's a word that doesn't help us activate behavior. It's a word that super glues our feet to the floor. But the thing is like, well, what are we supposed to do instead? I don't like to take something away unless I give you something too, right? And so when I think about the word we would want to use instead, I think about accurate emotional expression. Like, what do we really need? And it's like, maybe it's like, I'm hoping to go to the gym, or I really want to go to the gym because it's going to be helpful for my mind, or just trying to think of a looser, softer, more gentle way. It's so funny, like I almost these days I'm seeing so many of my coaching clients, and I find these themes through my day. Like, I talk to people all day, and I find myself like saying the same thing over and over. And I want to share with you what I was saying all day, literally, like my entire day, and every single one of the 7 coaching sessions that I had today. This word came out, and I think I want to tell you guys too, which is the word gentle. I just kept on saying to my clients today, like, gentle. People were having so many feelings, and they were being so like, I should wake up late. I should wake up earlier. The other one, well, I shouldn't be feeling this way. The other one was, and I'm like, gentle. Like, you are feeling this way. And like, I want us to really, because we get the minute you pick up that bat to beat yourself up, you are closer and closer and closer to the food. And one of my clients he's in quarantine with his whole family, and they were really getting into it. And he had the most brilliant thing that he came to at the end of our session today. And he said, because I just kept on being like, gentle, you're having feelings, that's okay, like, have the feelings. And he said, I'm starting to think that if I start to get more gentle with myself, then I might not have such a hard time with my family, and I can be gentler with them too. This beat up approach, in my experience, both personally and professionally, it makes us more isolated and more likely to go to the kitchen. And so it's like, when you're sitting home tonight, when the gremlins start talking, it's like, gentle, be kind, be nice, gentle. And let's take the shoulds off the table, my loves. Like, no more shoulds. I'm going to write a prescription for every single person in this group. No use of the word externally to others, because it's not useful and it's not going to get them to do the thing that you think that they should do. But more so, no use of the word internally. think of a better way to say it and think what you really mean. I love that. Abby's saying on Instagram, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to soften. Zach's saying we're going to put should in the word graveyard. Yes, if I am gentle with myself, I can be more gentle with others. I mean, you, my loves, this is the truth of everything, right? I'm just going to tell you the big truth. We can talk about it more and more and more, but let me tell you this. When you can forgive yourself, you can forgive others. When you can love yourself, you can love others. When you can accept yourself, you can accept others. Like, these are the great truths of life. It's the sales pitch for learning more about all of these things. So your prescription pad, my prescription pad tonight is sleep. Okay, that is on my prescription pad. Sleep, Molly. I'm going to go to bed in 1 minute. But your prescription pad tonight is no more shoulds. No more shoulds. Every morning, Sam's daughter says, be kind, be nice, and have a good attitude. Ain't that the word? Yeah, Roseanne, should has so much power. It's actually so incredible. It's such a wonderful, wonderful way to think about it. Like, stop using it. And if you need to use a word like that, if you need to word, like, think of what you really mean. Accurate emotional expression says, say what you mean to say, right? Which is, I should go to the gym. It's like, I'm nervous I'm going to gain weight if I don't go to the gym, which, by the way, is another distortion. Or I really want to feel better, so I'm going to go to the gym. All of these, no more shoulds. That's the point. And be gentle, 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 gentle. That's the prescription for tonight, my loves. So, put our hands on our hearts. We put our hands on our hearts for ourselves, for our community, for the larger community of all that are suffering with their food and weight issues, and for all those that are suffering in the whole community of our world. So who's closing the kitchen tonight? Amy's closing the kitchen. Who else is closing the kitchen? Let's see our emojis, or close the kitchen. Amy closed the kitchen. Anna closed the kitchen. Incredible. Karen, I love you too. Steph, I love you. Close the kitchen. Amazing. Dee Dee Melts closed the kitchen. Rosa's closed the kitchen. Stacy's closed the kitchen. Betrassi's closed the kitchen. Kelly G and Sam closed the kitchen. Sarah's closed the kitchen and used ice. Amazing. Oakland, Sam, Zach, Karen, yay. Lisa, Susie, Emily, thank you for everything. You're a star. Janice has closed the kitchen. Molly's closed the kitchen. Sarah's closed the kitchen. Teresa, Abby's closed the kitchen. Amazing. Rosanna's closed the kitchen. Another Rosanna's closed the kitchen. Ted's closing the kitchen in San Francisco. Ted, you're so amazing. Great job, babe. Ronnie's closed the kitchen. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. My love of my life, Kathy Ashworth. I'm so glad you're closing the kitchen. I love you so much. I love you, Zach. I love you all. Kitchens are closed, and we'll do it all again tomorrow night. Mwah. Bye.